Good morning, buenos dias, and welcome, bienvenido, to the second of our recipes from Spain. And as you can see, we're beautifully decorated with Spanish flags for the occasion. Now, this dish we're going to do today is a perfect dish for the overall theme of these videos, My Global Kitchen, because it really is a global dish. There are variations on this everywhere from China to India to Africa to South America, Latin America and Europe. And of course they might have different names, but they're all fundamentally very, very similar dishes. But we are going to do the Spanish dish today, and the Spanish name for our dish is empanada. So empanada really just means covered in bread. So the idea we did Polish pasties from England, we did placinte from Moldova. The same idea, something inside a pastry or bread casing. And you can put almost anything in it, you know, in different, we've had sweet, savory, cheese, vegetarian. But today, because it's Spanish empanadas, we're going to do a fairly classical recipe for beef empanadas. So, what will we need? Well, we'll need some beef, which isn't currently here, but we'll be getting that from the fridge very shortly. Then onion, garlic, some chili and red pepper, some oil for frying it all in. Then we have some paprika, some cumin, a beef stock cube, some tomato puree, and what I've got here is some tapenade, which is made from black olives, but you could use just fresh black olives chopped up to have the same effect. And then for the pastry casing, we have flour, baking powder and egg. I'm not going to show you how to do the pastry today, because we did that when we made quiche. We did it more recently when we did Welsh cakes, so I won't show you that, but we'll focus really on the filling, the beef filling, which means the next thing we need to do is a bit of chopping. So the equipment we need today is a chopping board, a knife, a wooden spoon, a saucepan or saute pan, a bowl, a rolling pin, a saucer, a fork, a pastry brush and a baking tray. So our ingredients for today are 250 grams of minced beef, a tablespoon of olive oil, a clove of garlic finely chopped, half an onion finely chopped, half a red pepper finely chopped, half a chili finely chopped, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of chopped olives or tapenade, a teaspoon of tomato puree, half of a beef stock cube, 250 grams of plain flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, 75 grams of butter cubed and 1 egg. Okay, so I've heating up some oil in my pan there, and I'm going to add my chopped onion, chopped red pepper, chopped garlic and chopped chili, all cut into small pieces, because as I said, these are going to go inside the empanada, and empanadas are normally not so big, so you don't want any big pieces of onion or pepper in there. You just want everything chopped up as finely as you can. And then we add our minced beef and just let that cook. I'd normally leave it for a few minutes now, just to let the meat go brown, but it's not crucial, and there's no point in waiting. So we'll add the other ingredients as well while we're here. So The first thing is a teaspoon of tomato puree and a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of cumin, and we've got a beef stock cube here. I'm just going to use half of it. I think that'll be enough for this quantity. And then, as I said, I've got some tapenade, which is like a chopped up black olive. I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of that, but if you can't or don't have tapenade, you can just get some normal lollies, chop them up very fine, and that will do the job just as well. Then we stir all that around, mix everything together, and now this is really just going to simmer for about 20 minutes. If it starts getting a bit dry, then just add a spoon or two of water just to stop it from burning or sticking. But essentially we're just going to brown off all this meat, cook through the vegetables, and in about 20 minutes that should be cooked. And then all we'll do that is just leave it to cool, and then we'll put it into our empanadas. So that's the stuffing mix sorted. Okay, so we've got our pastry mix now, and we've got our stuffing mix, which has cooked nicely and cooled down a bit. So we're going to put a little bit of flour on our board, like that. Take some of the pastry and just roll it out. A little bit thinner, so they're going to be fairly small. We don't want too much pastry. That's about right. So thickness of a euro coin, give or take, and then we get a template like this, a salsa. Up round it. And there we have all. And now we get a spoonful or so of our empanada mix, as much as we can reasonably fit in, but that still allows us to close it. And now we get a little bit of egg. This is just beaten egg here, and just put a little around there like that, and then we fold it over, press it down like that, and then just to secure it we get our fork, and that's it. One empanada done. A few more to go yet, but they'll all be the same. And then when they're ready to go in the oven, we're just going to brush a bit of egg over the top so that they go nice and brown and crispy in the oven. So they'll go into an oven, medium oven, about 180 degrees for about 20 minutes or so, till they're lovely and golden brown. That's it. All there is to it.